Hi, I'm David Daniels. Welcome to the Shaman Speaks podcast, where I share the life lessons I'm learning in order to help others move forward in their own lives. Enjoy. Welcome to week 38 of my journey to becoming a better counsellor. Welcome, everyone. I never want to take it for granted, those who are listening to this podcast, so thank you. If it's your first time listening, then welcome. Go back and listen, especially to the first episode, which sets the rest of these episodes up as to why I'm recording this. Let's dive into next week, to last week. Next week is coming. Let's dive into last week to see what progress I made. And basically last week was off the back of the week before. This overriding thought I have about how do I stand out in order to obtain counselling clients. So that seed that I've placed is starting to take root. I don't have the right way to phrase it. Let me get to the point. I had an idea to set up a free listening group for people to come and be listened to free of judgment. And I can't take the credit wholly for this idea. It came off an idea from a coach, goes by the name of Roland. Shout out to Roland if you're listening to this, a coach and working to be a counsellor as well, where he's running something similar. He's running a group for a section of people to help them. He runs it for free. But off the back of that, if they feel they need any more support, he's there as a coach, and they know that he's a coach, so they could approach him for that. So I'm thinking in a similar vein. People can't be listened to free of judgment. If they want one-on-one counsel, then I'm there to help them with that. So we'll see how that goes. I mentioned this to Gary, my supervisor, during our catch up. And in turn, he recommended a book that he's currently reading called You're Not Listening by Kate Murphy. So once I had this seed of an idea, you get to know me well, or get to know me not so well a little bit. I am a sticker for detail. I'm a stickler for research. So I just spent most of the middle of the week researching what platform to use, how should I set up the group, and continuing to develop the idea throughout the day. Now I've got my blackboard up, just writing things out, developing the idea. So where I'm at with this at the moment is I'm going to see if any ideas come off the back of reading a book that Gary recommended. And I will be sure to tell you how I get on. Later on, I set up some free business listings on Yale.com. Some of you may know it. Back in the day, Yellow Pages, a place where people advertise their services. And then Bing services. Bing is Microsoft's answer to Google search engine. So after that, I received a call later on in the day from someone at Yale.com promoting some of their paid services. Not totally unsurprising, given they provide this free service. And as we were having the conversation, the lady kept saying that she highly recommends that I get my own website. At the moment, I'm using other people's website. So I've got a profile on ACCPH, the counselling organisation that I'm accredited with. So I've got a profile on Bark, who I use to obtain clients. But I haven't got my own domain, my own website, my own space on the internet, if you want to call it that. And I explained to her this is something that I'm looking to do next year. It's, for me, is what I call a vanity thing. It's not something that is absolutely crucial that I need to have. Yes, it would be nice. Yes, everyone looks for a website when they're Googling you or what have you. But I'm using other companies' platforms at the moment. So I don't feel there's that rush to get it done. She told me to offer a website creation service, and then there's also a service that they provide, which is similar to Google Ads. Sometimes when you click on a Google search, you'll see the sponsored ads. They provide something similar. And I'm thinking, after speaking to her, that the second service could work out to be more cost effective, and I'll get more return on it than what I'm possibly spending on Bark, on the freelance platform that I'm using. So I've asked her to call me back in a month, and we'll take it from there. But it did ignite a spark to get a website sorted sooner rather than later, this conversation. So what I'm going to do in the meantime, I'm just going to create a simple website or have someone do it for me. And then I remember there was a company who were advertised on another podcast called the Counseling Tutor podcast. Can't get my words out this week. Forgive me. Counseling Tutor podcast. And this is a podcast I listened to heavily when I was completing my counseling studies. Really a lot of resources on the podcast and on the website as well. So I found the company that they promote for therapists, counselors to develop their own website. So send them a message and see how we got on. The following day, I had a brainwave, the membership organization that I pay, CTUK, Counsellors Together UK. I pay them a membership fee. For that, I get access to training, I get access to courses they run, and I remember that they actually provide a course on creating a website with templates. So that's going to help massively. Just get me on the website, on the internet, get me a presence, and I can always tweak and refine it later. Coming back to this idea of the listening group, I couldn't get away from it. So I was continually thinking about it, especially again, it's a weekend. It's like I was trying to get to an endpoint. Like, what's the next step? And it was racking my brain, staying up late. I was starting to get frustrated. I felt like I hit a bit of a brick wall. And then I had a breakthrough. Why don't I incorporate my work with Man in the Mirror, the group that I'm a part of for men, support group for men? So why don't I incorporate that into what I'm doing with counselling? And then I thought about that. And at the moment, with the current makeup of the group, a lot of men are coming to the group after being counselled themselves. So all I can do is, it took me back to algebra in high school. It's like 5 plus x equals 10, and then you would have to work way back. It's 10 equals, and you figure it out. 10 take away 5, you get 5. It's been a long time, forgive me, with the maths. But I just thought, that's a formula. Men get counselled, they come into support group for men. If I was to switch the formula the other way around, then it'll be that men come into the support group, and then they have the option, or they can choose to have counselling if appropriate. So that led on to a further thought, which is an idea for a book that I haven't written, but I had an idea for it. I think it was last year actually, and I was thinking of perhaps I could write this book to help raise awareness of the group, and it could also be a campaign. Basically, don't take my title, please. It's not groundbreaking, but it's basically the title I had. Working title is called "Men Do Talk," and I won't give away how the book is structured, but it's just a way to raise awareness and let people know, because you often hear men don't talk. And I'm saying, yes, that is a thing, but there are men that do talk as well. It could also become another podcast, but let's see. I'm enjoying this one at the moment, and I feel this is the capacity I've got in the podcast space at the moment. So yeah, just developing the thoughts, and then we'll see where it takes us. With all that being said, towards the end of the week, I really felt that I needed to be praying more. Faith is a vital. It underpins my life, to use a counselling term there from my essay days. It's not something I talk about too deeply on this podcast, but it's there. It's the reason I got into counselling. Without my faith, I would not be a counsellor. And I just felt maybe I was just getting too caught up in trying this strategy, trying this tactic, trying this, trying that, and almost leaving God out of the picture, where he's the one who brought me into the picture, so to speak. So I was just thinking that, man, just before I start my main day every Wednesday, just say a prayer for a few minutes, and that will set me up for the day. And then finally, towards the end of the week, I invested in an AI toolkit training course. AI, artificial intelligence, has just exploded over the last few months. I've seen lots of videos about it. I've seen lots of people trying to sell me their services. I've been a bit wary of it, to be honest. It feels like a little bit like cheating in some ways using AI, but don't get confused. I'm not here preaching that I am holier than holy as such. I recognize that when you type something and a suggestion comes up, that is artificial intelligence. So I'm not saying I don't use it at all. I never will use it at all. There's just levels that I'm not prepared to broach sometimes. I've been in a bit of a conundrum with AI. Should I use it, and how do I use it, etc. But an organization that I really trust has advertising this AI toolkit, and it's just training about different AI software and how you can use it. And I liked it because they're constantly developing, updating the course material. So I thought, let me purchase this. Yes, I can get it for free in the internet in different places, but the fact is have it all in one place from an organization that I trust, that is of value to me, and they're always going to be tweaking and refining it. So I purchased it, and you won't get a voice. You won't get me cloning my voice for the podcast, but there may be some other things. I see it as artificial intelligence. I see it as assisted intelligence. Can I use tools, etc., in a way that's going to assist me, not replace me? So yeah, that's where I'm at. Just a little bit to share. I'm sure it's going to help me in some way, shape, or form in my counselling activities as well. In terms of client update, no new clients this week. You can tell from the week it's just been thinking about how can I attract more potential clients. I did come across one potential client on Bark, and I don't know why, again, trying to think out of the box. I had a little bit of details from them. I thought, let me Google what I've got and see if I can find the person. Long story short, I found the person. This is not something that's going to work consistently. I tried it a couple of times afterwards. It didn't work. And then I went back to Bark and purchased the lead. So we'll see what comes out of that. As you can tell, this has been a thinking out of the box week with a little bit of AI mixed into things. Thank you for listening. Send me your feedback. Send me your comments. Until next week, thank you, God. Amen. Thank you for listening to the podcast. Please subscribe, share, and leave a review via my website, shymanspeaks.com. Have a good week.